All right. Hello, hello. Yeah, well, I haven't gotten over that far yet. Not gone that far yet. Let's see. Yeah, for some reason, I can't say for some reason. I know exactly why. So I typically have like my browsers all set up, and yeah, Mr. Kip decided to smash the keyboard, and yeah, I lost my main window with all my stuff on it. So yeah, I was like, thanks, Kip. He's in rare form today. Happy, just destructive. You know, typical boy, right? Happy and destructive. Anyway, so lots of movement in the last 24 hours. A lot of that obviously has to do with some of the comments and things made yesterday. Um, the moves has happened, right? Are they going to continue to move? Maybe for a little bit, but I wouldn't say any massive amounts of movement. I'm actually surprised that the dollar CAD hasn't reversed yet. Canada had awesome retail sales data. There's no other way to put it. They adjusted their previous, and then even with the adjustment, it still blew the forecasts out of the water. I mean, even with a 3.3% big, this is big data. But right now, obviously, we have the U.S. kind of influence on the market right now. So um, yen, on the other hand, is getting I'm not sorry, not the yen. The pound is on the other hand getting blasted. Um, Again, their retail sales, while Canada's was great, the pounds were horrible. Um, and there's no other way to kind of can't candy coat that one. They were just bad. um, yeah. So obviously they're getting cranked on today. There's also some what's it called? Some Brexit data, news. The Northern Ireland thing again, it keeps coming back up again. We'll see when Bailey speaks at 10:30 whether or not that helps, provide some reversal. I believe that it will. I feel like we're going to get. I feel like we're going to get word that they're going to start raising in a different type of scenario or way or something. So yeah, it probably does. Yeah, I would assume it comes back down again. Like I said, I don't think there's any reason, and in reality, it's still kind of in the same. Um, it's in the same it's in the same geographic location, right? It's not like we're breaking at all time highs or lows, right? Or even recent. Um, so you know, as much as that looks like that's a crazy move, I mean the daily ATR is 166. It's a little bit past, but that's it. It could be much, much worse, right? But dollar CAD is obviously well beyond where it should be. That's absolutely a big one. Even the Aussie dollar, to some extent, you can see it's retracing back a little bit now. But dollar CAD absolutely out of its range and kind of unjustified where it is right now. So especially with this data, um, European resilience is changing the world. Okay, sure. Right. I hate to inform her that the Ukraine is not part of the EU, so it's not really European yet. But the other big bit of news, obviously, we talked about it for Nadex. QE is officially over, right? It's officially ended. It was kind of behind the scenes. They didn't quite. Um, it wasn't quite. I don't know. Not, it wasn't televised. Like, yes, QE is done, but you didn't really hear much about it. Like it's official, right? On their weekly balance sheets, it's official, right? They were like, yeah, we're going to start tapering it down, and they just kind of let this one happen. I think they purposely didn't mention it, and again, I think that's a lot of the rally that we're seeing today. Not so much Powell, but the fact that hey, listen, one of the major things was the QE, and now the QE is, yeah, it's gone, it's done, we out. So that's a big deal. And then this thing, I'm still kind of torn on it. I've never seen this ever. Um, yeah, like I said, I've been following currencies for over 20 years. This is crazy. A joint intervention. Um, I actually don't even know how I feel about this one. No, QE is quantitative easing, basically making the basically market stimulation. Right, is probably the best way to say it. The caffeine, the coffee for the market is what quantitative easing is. Basically, making things cheaper, to create a positive growth environment. Um, Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about this one. It's like, wait, the United States now is going to prop up, Japan. Um, Yeah, kind of crazy. And like I said, they're talking about intervention. The Bank of Japan has obviously done it for a while. It's something that definitely happens, but it's kind of crazy. And I don't know. Excuse me. Uh, it's kind of a weird scenario. Like one country is help propping another one. It's like, like is there favoritism there? It's kind of I don't know. Even her picture, like I love the pictures. It's a very sketch picture. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like if China wanted to lodge something, you'd be like, listen, why are you manipulating? Why is the United States trying to manipulate the world to this point? I feel like they kind of have a valid point, right? I mean, I didn't read the entire article. You can read it, but it talks about right now they say it's a threat. This is more like a verbal threat than anything else for now. And again, it's not so much. I mean, I guess it's kind of propping it up, but um, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things when you start intervening in other countries. Yeah, kind of a weird scenario. Maybe they asked for it. I don't know, but it's a strange, strange scenario. And then another news I saw on Reuters today: Israel, for the first time ever, has sold part of their dollar holdings and acquired Chinese currency in their reserves. They've never done that before in the past. It's the first time ever, but they are lowering their exposure to the U.S., which I thought was kind of interesting. So, yeah, I guess we have you know, no no love lost there. Um, so we'll see. Let's see. Hold on one sec. I just had a pop up. I gotta check. I gotta find that. All right. There we go. Sorry. The figures like one thing pops, everything pops. It's like, wait, get over it. Get out of the way. Stop. There we go. Okay. Good. All right. Good. Um, got it. All right. So I think that's definitely something interesting. And then again, some of Hal's comments, it's absolutely essential that we tame inflation. A 50 basis point hike may be possible. Like I swear somebody is messing with his teleprompter. I feel like he should have said 0.75. The market's pretty much factored in a point 0.5, and he's like, "Yeah, it's possible, right? It's possible for May." Like, what the heck are you watching? But it's funny that we need to tame it. It's absolutely essential. And then some of these headlines, like, we're going to expeditiously get there, and I want to see actual progress, meaning it hasn't done. And we had an expectation that inflation would peak around this time, right? Had. So yeah, he done screwed up there. Um, and again, I love this. It is appropriate, in my view, to be a little bit more quickly with interest rate rises. Really, really. Um, I also think that there's something to be said for front end loading any accommodation one makes. You already started to raise them. Bullard said front load it, and now you're like, huh? I would say 50 basis point is on the table for May, where Bullard says 75 is on the table. So again, I'm not sure. I love this. We got a front load, buddy. You already did it. Do you know what front load means? Like front load means like the first, like the beginning, not the second one or the third one or the fourth one. Like the first one, you should have came in big, and they limped in. So yeah, but I mean, he has made at least some hawkish comments, but none of them are, I think, justify the moves that we've seen. So I think a lot of it more is the balance sheet than anything else. Um, and again, I think um, that is a big kind of change. Like I said, everybody's loved this great environment, this QE environment. The fact that it's kind of officially over is great. Question is now, can the economy, maintain and stabilize itself, kind of with that? I don't actually know. There we go. All right. So obviously today being Friday, we have manufacturing coming in. I was kind of trying to stall a little bit, see if we can get that data a little bit early. We'll see what that does. I don't think it's going to do too much to the market, but just in case. Um, Obviously tomorrow, nothing. Sunday, presidential election. Again, now that it's a little bit closer, we'll see how it goes. Um, it's getting interesting over there. And then obviously Monday we have Macklin speaking again. This would be, I think, Monday at 11. Again, we'll speak between then and now. I think this is a big opportunity for a speech. Um, Talking to the House of Commons, right? He's testifying. Testify. Whenever you testify, there's always some explosions. After seeing the retail sales data today, I wouldn't be surprised if this is yeah, we have a good opportunity, right? A good opportunity for Monday for the CAD to kind of come back and you know start moving, right? Um, Come on, let's go. I know you know already. I mean, it's the data's already out. You just give it to me. Come on, just give it to me. Come on, come on. There we go. Let's see. Right. Come on, it's here. Stop playing. Stop playing. I hate when they do this. It's like you know that it's out. It's 9:45. You know that it is, right? You know that it is. Come on. There we go. Ooh, flash service is down. There you go. Look at that. That's it's a double double. Lower last time, and then lower than the expectation. Oh, that one was up. So it's a split number. So manufacturing looks good. They're producing stuff, but services are getting cranked around a little bit. And I can speak from the parents that I know. Um, they have restaurants. They're like hating it right now. They're like, yeah, we're like 30 staff short right now. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. All right, so let's go over the charts. Let's see what the VIX is doing right now. VIX is maintaining its high. Mm, yeah, VIX is maintaining high a little bit. So let's crank right into it. So obviously down, right? Talked about some major levels here. This was the last time that we had an alert. We actually just triggered. We just dinged that alert right there. So we'll see. This was an old Harry Potter trade that we were looking at. There was the zone. We'll see if we can get the continuation. This one's rallied a lot. So this zone, you can see that it put up a valiant fight. It hit it, bounced, and started the base. You're like, yep, it's going through. It's going to break, and it did. Let's see. This profit target is out. the, the we never got a pullback. This alert just blew right through. Let's see where we have some pullbacks because right now, until Australia talked about a 40 basis point hike. Um, I think the market was extremely unhappy with that comment. I was trying to see if we have anything hidden. Yeah, so looks like depending on what happens, if this happens to be the bottom, and again, it is a zone, we are looking for a Harry Potter lower, so it may actually break. But right now, if you look at this, you can see that, look at this level of basing right here, and it also happens to be right around the 50. So interesting spot, interesting setup right there. Something we should watch out for if this turns out to be the bottom. If it doesn't, if it tends to go, like, if it goes a little bit lower, down to here, that Harry Potter is done, and now all of a sudden the 61.8 is going in that same zone. So, you know, now I'm curious. Let's see. If we run that down to the bottom of the Harry Potter. Ooh, it is. It puts it right in there as a front run. Ooh, that could be interesting. All right, so I would say right now with everything, again, I do think the dollar is justified for this kind of move. Is it? Do we still have some room to run? Maybe a little bit more, but I do think there is going to be a bottom coming in. I don't know if it's going to be a huge retracement today, but I do think for the Aussie, again, we had that one short. We're at a second one right now where we have a Harry Potter from way back. God, March 17th, right? Um, so we do have some room for this one to go lower. Hold on one sec, guys. My neighbor's dog is going crazy. I'm wondering if my dog is out. One sec. Sorry. So anyway, we got the short set up here. I do believe that Aussie's in a weaker situation. I do think gold is in a weaker situation. Aussie as a proxy through gold, I also think is not the best thing today. So again, um, it's Friday. Depending on how late you're going to trade today, I think this one still has some potential. And again, it's from an old setup back over here. Okay. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen is also deteriorating. Again, we've seen kind of some yen strength come back, and I wouldn't say overall it is yen that is strong. Um, Not necessarily just the yen, right? The talk of intervention to make it stronger obviously help, um, but unfortunately with this one, you can see that we really don't have a whole lot drawn in there. There's again, the origin of the move down here, this last push, we just kind of bounced off of it. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, kind of coincides. If you're looking for, there is a zone right there, right? It is a confirmed zone. If you're looking to get in on this, and again, if there's a little bit of a retracement this morning between the yen, there's the opportunity to get short at 93.82, and then again, push that one down into this level. Um, like I said, it's okay. I mean, we've had I mean, really, in this area here, we've definitely had a lot going on, but again, that's kind of what we're bouncing off of. So I would say, in any type of shorts, I think this 9250 is kind of what we're looking for. I don't know if we can get down there. Let's see. Yeah, it's about 94 pips on a Friday. I don't know if we can get that far up there. Um, I would say this 93.82 is probably about the only one, if anything. We talked about a short. Last night we were talking about a break below 94.29 was a short, and you can see we hit it. We hit it again. So there's number four. There's your base and the drop. It didn't give us the pullback, but again, one, two, three, four, and then once you got this base, you're like, oh, if it goes lower, take it short. So kind of the trade's done. There's really not much else we can do in this one. Again, that was a late midnight trade. So yeah, if it pulls back up, that's about the only thing. But right now, I'd like to see it stabilize around 92.50. Not much else there. Euro pound jumping, and again, ended up kind of blowing through this zone, right, which was a decent zone, right? We ended up going up and grabbing this zone and pulling back, and then slingshotting through it, basing and going higher. Um, yeah, I mean, again, the pound got absolutely slaughtered. Again, this was a super tiny little zone here. It wasn't anything big, and again, their data, the retail sales data, just got slaughtered. But very interesting, a great education lesson off of it. I wasn't in this trade, but look at this. Banged off of it, bad news came through, and then what did it do? It pulled back to that same level and used it. So there is kind of what we talk about pulling, um, you know, going in both directions. So, um, oops, sorry. Yeah, so euro pound wise, I think I would say right now, again, let's remove this so we can clean this up a little bit. I want to go a little bit higher time frame on it. Well, actually, I can use it on a 30. Okay, this is where I'm looking at it right now, and you can see that it went through, and that line was at a 50 and kind of bounced, and then it used it. It's at the 61.8 right now. If you look at this level, there is a test off this 61.8, but there's not really a corresponding zone behind it. There is a small level here that we could kind of mark off. I mean, it's hit it a few times and gotten a bit lower. I'm wondering if this is where the profit taking is going to come in, and we'll see a reversal. We got a little bit more room to run, and you can see it's already having some problems, but yeah, there's a zone there. It's just there's nothing behind it. It's kind of like it's a newly formed zone. And again, is it 61.8? Probably has something to do with it, but I don't really love it, and that's kind of what we're seeing a turn off of right now. So I think profit taking is coming in this one. I think all the news is out there at this point. I love Lagarde talking about how resilient the EU is. I think that's great. I think if Russia turns the energy off or turns the gas off, I think we will have a different story about how resilient they aren't. Um, you know, they're trying their best, but yeah. So I'd be looking for a reversal in this one. Actually, the zone that we blew through here, I like how this drove up. So I'm kind of right now. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, right in there is not a bad level. Yeah, there's a little bit of a pushback, but again, what caused it to go there? I'm kind of looking for a short setup, and again, it's probably a next week thing. I don't think we'll have enough time today for it to complete, but kind of looking for this. And again, this could be one of those Sunday night trades. Those kind of over. It's obviously a level that it's been important, right? It was a top, it was a bottom. We come back down and we start basing in it. It's a decent short, and again, profit targets for a reversal aren't coming back to here. But I think Monday, Tuesday next week we have pushed all the way back down again. It's just whether or not we can get in the entry and if we have enough time for it. Okay. Euro yen. You can see euro yen's a little bit choppier. We talked about our profit target, and you did look. It sliced through, came through, and then turned it again. So it's been a big profit target. We do have this euro yen short here. We did not get entry. Just peeking its head in and coming back up is not an entry for a Harry Potter trade. So again, we got to re-enable this alert, right? But it's great. The fact that it pushed all the way through, right? It's now cleared the zone for us. We know that we got smooth sailing next time coming through. So we come down and base again. These same buyers are probably, if there's any left, are probably gone. So again, this trade becomes live again um, for a short. And I again, looking at the euro pound, I also think that this makes sense for the euro yen. We were talking about that weakness coming back. Again, it's the same weakness. That one rolls and flips back down again. We see overall European weakness, and this one also follows. Okay, particularly because if the United States and Japan are both intervening to prop up the yen, again, even more reason to get toward that one. Here's our parabolic move from yesterday. We talked about that 530 reversal. It came down. It really didn't do much once it hit that, from chart school time frame. We talked about actually chart school occurred here. We talked about the target being 108.35, but it was a little bit late to get in. Actually, I guess it was here. Talked about it being a little bit late if you already weren't in, kind of long in the tooth at that point. It came down, it tagged the target and kind of rode along it. And then obviously the European or the UK news this morning drove it down, went back up again. I think at this point in preparing this one for next week, um, we didn't need this guy. Really? I mean, I would say probably down here would be our next level. Um, like I said, we know we've had big pushes off that level already. Um, it's okay. I mean, it's all right. It's obviously a test of something else prior, but I think 107.53 is really where we kind of shoot for today. Um, Needs to move another 60 pips. It could, right? It could move another 60 pips. So if we talk about more dollar strength today, we get another one of those headlines. Are we going to have enough time to reverse it? Probably not. Obviously there's a big push off of price. It was a quick touch, and it's past its 1 to 3 at this point. Um, let's see. Did that coincide with anything? No, it was just sitting in the middle again. A pure supply and demand, right? Again, 50 is at nowhere, right? 61.8 is at nothing, so there's no even hidden, trades in this one. So I think this one comes lower. If we do push down into this and we do touch, do you see how when I brought fibs down to this 107.54, that was an area that we were kind of looking at before. Did you see what just happened to the 50%? The 50% just drove right on top of that level. So I think that that's a level, again, if we can drive down today, I think that's a level we watch out for. Again, it's maintain one, and that's 108.41. Could be a decent rollback. And again, maybe it doesn't drive all the way down. It doesn't mean that there's not people there. Remember, a lot of these things are established ahead of time. That could be an area that if we close somewhere over in here, we gap up into it on Sunday, could be a decent short as well. Okay. Um, Pound yen. So pound yen. We ended up taking the bounce here, and we were looking for this one again. It kind of popped through, and then this time it just sliced it. It drove it as much as it could and blew all the way through the other side. And again, the news was pretty justified this morning for it to pull back. Now we are at the bottom of kind of the last kind of draw. Is this the peak long area? I would say not so much like the peak long area, but I would say that this is absolutely an area where we could see the profit taking coming in. It's driven all the way back down again. It's a decent base. It is supported. It was the start of the last fib draw that we had. Um, yeah, and European market closes in 2 hours. The only problem I have with this one right now is because the pound data was so strong. Again, you guys know, I've been very, very pro pound lately. Their data today was really, really bad. There's no, there's no, like, you can't really candy coat this one. It's bad. Um, if they intervene, this one should crash further. Okay. I don't know when that intervention is coming in, right? But I would say this is one of those opportunities right now where you're talking about intervening and changing the path of a currency. Um, yeah, I think, yeah, I think you got to be a little cautious. That's all I'm saying, right? I think I wait. I think we wait and let this one stabilize overnight. I think this one has the ability to move. I think it does retrace up a bit. Um, for those of you that were looking for the kind of the pull downs, you can see that there was a 23.6 pullback at 6:30 this morning. A little bit late for the reversal, right? And again, it reversed up and then it continued its trend down. So there was actually a fib trade in this one at 6:30 for kind of a continuation. There wasn't much over there to kind of show us that it was going to be pulling in. And right now, you can see that there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot else in there. Um, if we get down to the level that we talked about, this old, and again, this one's already done. It's already out over there. It's already been used, so it's not really a target for another one. But it was an old alert. If we bring it right back down to that old alert, which is at the top of an old zone and actually where this one bottomed out at, right? Interestingly enough, that same pullback just happens to come up to the 50. So I'm curious again, this could be one of those ones for Sunday night that you're like looking at this and saying, hey, you know what? Look at that. There happens to be a zone that front runs a 50 off a prior zone that's already been good. So, yeah, could be something to watch out for. All right. Um, but not really. We're not there yet. There's not really a whole lot we can do with it right now. So, but I like that zone. I think that could be another hidden zone in there. And I think overall for target wise, again, um, I don't know. Two countries talking about, hey, yeah, we should definitely intervene. Yeah, this is a good idea. Kind of scares me with the yen right now. So I'm kind of a little bit leery with this one. If we had great retail sales, I wouldn't be as concerned because strong pound, strong yen, strong pound should win. But obviously, right now we're at like super. That number was really really bad for the pound. Pound dollar. Powell speech, nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. Retail sales hits, boom. Okay. And you can see we have two levels, right? We based in one, we pulled up, we grabbed it, we're pushing to the second one. Um, for this one too, I think, and again, these were targets that we were talking about down here. It's been a while, right? Let's go back up to a 4 hour, right? You can see this is what we're dealing with right now. Okay. Pokes down into this 128.48 range. Again, pokes, 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 pokes. They've held pretty well. And again, this was pretty choppy back and forth. This was back in September of 20. So again, obviously there's some craziness going on there. I'd really like to see a fresh bottom be put in. I was really hoping we get good data with that one, but at this point, I think maybe we start to break through and we start to test lower into the 126 range. On a 2 hour basis, I think I can see it on the 2 hour. Yeah, I can. You can kind of see where this was a big takeoff point with a touch. I think we definitely need to respect it. It's not really a zone that we can draw, just because it's very wiki. It's quite large. If I was going to draw this like on any other chart, we're talking about 27, 30 pips, which is not bad, right? But it's also not the best bottom. We just know that it's been confirmed with buyers. So I'd really like to see some type of a bottom truly be put in. I don't think the U.S. going to 50 is really going to augment this that much. I don't think it's going to change it. Um, it's just finding the right opportunity down here. I'd like for this to roll back up again. I'd like to use this full range in here. Um, right now, particularly if we use one of these bottoms, the one thing that I'm looking at here, and again, this is on a 2 hour chart, so it's a little bit different of a time frame. This guy got sliced through, so it's gone now. But using this level right here, right? That's a very, very strong push down on a 2 hour. Did a lot of basing, and it's hidden right at a 61.8. So people will be looking at that 61.8 number. That's something in the future. And again, we got a little bit of time. I don't want you to think this is like a today trade, but that's 160 pips higher. I do think that there's some decent opportunity in there. Um, as far as this one rallying back up again on a 30-minute, you can see that we obviously had some selling occurring in here, right? It's bracketed off with two lines. I will say when this one does start to kind of go back to where it really, in my eyes, it should be, this would be more of a break of this area right here, this 129.24. Again, racetrack scenario, not really a profit target until 130.29. It would be somewhat of a long position, and again, probably more like over here. Probably more of a next week thing, but it's one of the things that's on my watch list right now for next week is when we finally do find our bottom. We start pushing up again. Yeah, there's sellers here, but they've already been hit, and now we look for this to push through. So I think there's something in there. Dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD. Interestingly enough, the double top broke. It actually didn't trigger on this one, so it didn't come down. Um, I I just kind of I don't know. This is kind of boggling, maybe because the number was too good. This doesn't make sense that we're going to continue to rally back up again. I mean, oil is down. Oil is down 2%, but their retail sales numbers are really, really good. With this rallying higher, and again, we are looking for kind of a breakout of the top side of this one. It kind of gave us a funky break. It popped and came through and came through. It didn't give us a super clean breakout of the top of that one. Again, that's why it's black. Um, I think this is really setting us up for a great trade on Monday. I don't think I'm looking for a reversal today. Seeing where we are right now, there's nothing until up here, right? We don't have a zone until right there, and that's where your touch comes in, right there, right? We don't have anything. There's a little tiny hiccup. There's not much there. Um, I'm wondering is if we continue to see bullish movement today, if this continues to go higher. How far is it? Let's see. It's about 80 pips. Hmm. 80 pips is a decent amount. Hmm. I'm wondering. We know that we have. Let's see. Monday is the 25th, and he's speaking at 11. So right there. I am wondering if we're going to get this opportunity. If we set up a call spread, something along those lines, some type of a Monday call spread. If we get something up there. Reason I say that is because again, with us rallying, yeah, I mean it's justified a bit, but the CAD data had almost no effect on this at all. With them, with Macklin speaking on Monday, testifying about inflation and how you're going to control it, things like that. Um, could be a decent short, right? I don't think today we're going to get it, but that there could be a decent call spread there on Monday. And again, that's as price approaches 127.77, a little bit high, a little bit hot of what it should be. So could be this weekend. Right now, I mean, there's nothing. Based off of what we see, there's nothing really slowing it down. So we'll see. I think that could be a decent one for Monday. The Swiss. So look at this. The Swiss had to fight, 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 fight. It's funny. This one doesn't have the same movement, right? We talked about this 95 level, pushed up and really just fought, 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 fought. Man, the sellers were in here. They broke through and now it hit the top one. So again, never got a trade entry on this one. Maybe if you did, you got stopped out or whatever. Which again, it's going to happen. I mean, it's trading. You're going to take losses. Um, but man, look how much this fought. Where all the other ones, it's straight up in the air with the dollar. Man, look at the fight that the sellers put in on this one, right? They fought and fought and fought and fought. So we can remove it now because it is officially broken now. The bottom one is anyway. Um, in looking at this though, if this does again, we are hitting the second one now. It is reversing off the second one. Um, I will say there was a decent amount of basing, and again, I got to change this back down there. Decent amount of basing in here, and kind of an interesting run up. I'm wondering if we get a short out of this one, right here. Um, Kind of a confirmation short, right? You're already in. If you were short from up this top level, we push down, which again I think is a decent trade. We base in here. That could be the opportunity to take this down and really come back down to kind of a median base level in here, down in the 195. I'm not 195, the 95 range. 95 is big for this pair, and 95 is sitting right there. So kind of wondering if that's what we see. Grind down, a base in there, and then again we start off Monday a little bit more weakness, right? Um, into this 95 range. I like this 95 candle a bit. So pretty decent. Dollar yen. Well, that 128 has been good for another hit. So we have one, two, and three. Now, again, at this point, we've had four hits of it. It's getting dangerous if you want to take it now, but it's still that 61.8 level from that full retracement. And again, been pretty rock solid there. So hard to say that that was a bad level, right? Um, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna. One sec. Sorry. Uh, Kind of my same feeling on this one was with the yen. Um, the dollar has not been able to advance to it. We're seeing yen strength come back in again. Just the talk of intervening. If they intervene, this one shoots back down again, and I think the profit target down south is 126.63. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really want to take one more off of that zone, even though it's been good. Um, but I think this one's going down. I really do. But it's funny, all this talk. It's so weak. It's so weak. The dollar is so strong. Dollar is so strong. We're raising, and we saw this all. But yet the dollar did nothing versus the yen. Kind of interesting how it works out. And right now it's at 0.01. So it's in 24 hours we're seeing minus 9 pips total. So yeah, not much in that one. Bitcoin looks like it's also flat 0.19, 0.13, 0.47. Doji is 0.35. Bonds are up just a little bit. Again, it looks like we're seeing the dollar roll back a tad. Yeah, looks like it's trying to roll back again from that upper region. So um, let's look at oil. All right. So crude, I wouldn't say has done much. We talked about a level, and again, one, two, three. Number four is what broke. Never really gave an entry to take it short. So again, four touches on that, nothing big. It's hovering around the 50, but we don't really need it. There's nothing in there. Yeah, I mean it's more or less it's down a little bit from where we were, but I wouldn't say that this one is really the trajectory has changed too much. It's slightly down, but not big. I think 106 is still a short. 99.82 is still a short. Um, Again, you could draw. I mean, you could draw parallel channel on this one almost, right? So I think you let this one kind of work its way down. Natural gas. Natural gas also down again. All the commodities are down today, probably because of the dollar. Come on, give us the natural gas chart. I know you want to. I know you want to. There we go. We came back up, grabbed the same sellers that were here. So again, that old Harry Potter worked out great. Came back up, went down lower. Right now, again, this bottom level here, it looks like at this point these guys have been broken through. So I'm gonna move this down to this level here. Again, I'm looking for more of a short, and I'm wondering because we have this break. Um, Kind of looking at something along these lines. If we can get that low, I don't know if we can or not. But see this little zone here. I'm wondering if this is what we have as it comes through, tags this zone, pulls to here, and then goes down to that level. Again, that's where your profit target should be right here. So, wondering if that is our next setup on this one. Break a 660. Again, your 1 to 3 target would have to be 630. But unfortunately, we do have this area of buyers coming in, so a little bit sketchy. But that would be the next one I'm looking for on the break for natural gas. Um, Again, at any moment, do I feel like, just like how the yen could get intervened with, do I feel like at any moment Russia could really jack this one up? Yeah, I think it can. And I think it goes all the way back up, probably close to the 8 range if they do. Not there yet, but I think it's on its way. It could be. But again, right now, if it's going to continue to grind sideways, um, that nor'easter in that nor'easter was coming through should be washed out in the next couple days. So we should stop. We should start hearing about warm temperatures again. That should help relieve some of the pressure in this as well, as long as there's no major headlines that you know Russia has turned the spout off or whatever. So it's there. I don't know. Maybe we do. That'd be great if we can get a short down in that 630 range. I think that'd be awesome. I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not buying gas. I'll go to electric if I need to. I'll have electric heaters throughout my house if I have to. I'm not paying $8. Um, I refused to pay 650. I got it back down at 450 or whatever it was. But yeah, fun. Gold. So gold pushing lower. Again, we can push it all the way down to the 1928. We mentioned 1928. That's why we had the horizontal line here. We talked about this is the last area here that we had some buying coming in, and that's probably where the target was. We missed it by a little tiny bit. There's the target right now. Interesting enough, when I drag fibs, when we were over here, we didn't have it yet. When I drag fibs down to that 1928, you can see now that that 1962 now comes into play as being a short drop, base drop, sideways, and 50% retracement all at the same time in 1952. Now we are a little bit away from it right now, so it's not kind of that it's not really that necessarily in your face. Um, so eh, it's not. I don't know. It's a little far away, right? We got $20 to go. Can we jump $20 over the weekend? Sure, we could. I don't know. I doubt there's any going to be any major headlines that can really talk about it right now. As I said, we're looking for pullbacks right now. If you were looking for like this morning kind of pullback, obviously we're floating around the 50-61. There's a little zone there. I don't know that I'd be that aggressive with it. Um, Again, I think we maintain. You have to maintain short this one right now. It's down 0.447 today. I would look next week with all the talk that Powell said this week. If you're looking for a weekly position, I think gold has the ability for a weekly position short. I know it's a little bit farther down, but now that Powell is finally getting on board with it, we'll hear more clarifications about it next week, and there'll be more Fed presidents jumping on board. I think there's some opportunity to get this one short. And again, for next week, my call will be short on gold. Probably silver as well. Silver, you can see we got so close to that 24 figure. Again, we made it down to 24.026. So I missed it by two pennies, 2.5 pennies is what I missed it by. Again, our target was the 24.42. We hit it. We went through. We used it. Went lower again, and now we're kind of slowing down. This market does close earlier today, and again, um, kind of the same thinking. Anytime we get a pullback on this one, I think we immediately got to start kind of looking for ways to get short. I'd wait for the next burst up again, and then look to get short. Curious to see next week if we can get. I mean, 24 has been definitely a target. I'm curious to see, with everything that was said by Powell, I'm curious to see if we can actually drive this thing back into the 23 to 22 range. Again, is there a setup for it today? Probably not. I mean, if you wanted to get something short, this is an old level. It's been confirmed. I'd probably wait for the 23. If you're looking to get short silver, I think this is a better area up top. You'll have the help of fib traders coming into that one where they'll look at this and be like, well, wait a second, there's a top to bottom, there's a 23. Yeah, there's a small zone there. There's this kind of rally at base and then like the fast fall out of it. Um, I would say that's a better area if you're really looking to get something short right now. It would be up here at 2450. Again, psychological level, right? 2450 is going to be psychological, and it's 23.6, and it's area of supply. So you got a couple different. It's like a triple witching, right? Let's look at the indices. So VIX is still popping up, although maybe it's creeping back a little bit for like a reversal. Earlier today, I said that for Nadex, I just didn't expect there to be much out of this. It's funny that if I bring this across, you can see that's kind of where we took the bounce at late last night. Um, with everything going on today, I mean, I guess for when we do move again, there is a basing level here that's been hit 3 times now. If we block this level off, I would say that there's probably a decent opportunity to go long if we can break through that. But right now, do I want to get in the way of this one? Not really. I mean, we're finally getting yep, this is what's happening. We're raising, we're going to be aggressive. QE is done. Now we get to see kind of what the market has. Is there going to be opportunity later today? I think there is. If you look to see, so there is 2 zones here. Again, both of them are already out. These were opening morning trades. You can see that there was definitely some basing occurring here. Actually, I'll just bring this one across. It's an old level, right? I'll bring both these across. I think these are the 2 levels where potential reversals come in, and there could be something end of day. But neither one of these today would have been anything that I was, like overjoyed to be like, yep, I want to get long, right? Actually, that looks like that first one is hit. Yeah, that one's out. It's this one. Thought we'd delete that one before. I think right now our target on this to the downside is at least this 43.26. If we get a reversal, potentially that's where it comes in at. But I think that's the only potential really for this one for me today. I don't, could we get an end of the day rally? Sure, but I don't think this is with everything fundamentally we've just heard with intervening in other nations and then finally raising interest rates and QE ending, which people haven't talked about yet. I think it kind of is more set up for a red day. I'd love to say get long, get long, get long, but not so much. We can pull this fib off now. We don't need this retracement. Let's pull this top to bottom. Yeah, look at that. If we do retrace back up again, maybe we'll get a 1030 reversal back up again. But if we come back up to 43.82, look at that. Area of basing, it has been hit 3 times. If we break that, I do like that for a long to the 50. But could that roll out of the, could this roll from 43.82 down? Yeah, I think absolutely. I think it absolutely has that ability. So, yeah, I'm wondering if we get down, and this is our reversal level today. If we do an up and then a down again. Could be. Could be. NQ. A little bit less bad, right? It didn't get the big push down again. I think this one did come back and grab the 23. Yeah, there's your 23, right? I think this one goes lower as well. And you can see looking across here. Probably here, although I bet you it turns early. I bet you it rolls off that base. These would be my 2 targets for NQ today. Come on. You can do it. There you go. I think those are your targets today. At 1341. I think that's where we have the ability to. Now, NQ technically is the strongest right now, right? You have Tesla up a little bit. You have Twitter up about four. Um, I think if this starts to play catch up, I think if everything starts to go down and we start to see them turn, I think that helps. But overall, I think this one continues to deteriorate as well. Like I said, none of the news they talked about, hawkish QE, raising the dot. I mean, none of those things are really great for this. Um, just with the sentiment we've had this week, I think these continue to drop lower. And again, all we're looking for is headlines. YM, same drop. Now, YM is in an area, and again, this is a very interesting setup. It is 1020 right now. There has been some sellers here, and they've they fought right. Question is, do we take a little bit of a roll? We go back up again. Um, right now on this one as well. We'll take this long off. We don't need any of those anymore. Let's pull this down. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's a bit lower. That's going to be a hard one to get down there. Oops. Looking at a zone here, there's a gap, and it is a test, and there was a big punch off of it. It's not going to be in play for the 23.6 or the 50, but it is definitely a supply zone. Coming in at 34,654. It is 1021. Now is when it would reverse. The YM is currently the weakest. Okay. Hmm. But raising interest rates is going to hurt this group a lot. Manufacturing was good. I wish this was a stronger zone. I really, really wish this was a stronger zone. I think this would be a great reversal, except this is not really. I mean, yeah, there's a pop here, but it's had three touches. I mean, there's not really much support for it. Um, yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not going to take this one live, but is it an area where people could take it? Yeah. I mean, it's there's a zone in here. I mean, I guess actually the zone's there, right? Boxes this off, boxes the top here, bottom here, and that's what the touch is. For purely technical purposes, yeah, there is a thing here, but again, interest rates are one of those things you don't mess with. Again, interest rate rises; they're permanent changes inside of the market structure. So, although I think it's an area where you could take a 1030, maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm not aggressive enough on this one, but I think if this was a better zone and hadn't been touched, it hadn't been wiki and had been very, very small, I think this would be a great reversal level. If it was more clear, if it was even just this quality right here, not that this is like a grade A super, but even if it was just like this, where it was a little bit more clear, it wasn't just a bunch of tiny candles and whip this back and forth, it'd be a much better area. But again, we do have the reversal time. We do have buyers down there. If you're looking for something, it's a potential. And again, it would be a morning reversal from 8:30 down. This is when it would happen. But I think if you do take it, I think the target is 34, 500. If there was like a knockout that you could get pretty cheap down there, this could be a decent level for a knockout where you're not taking a lot of loss or even a small call spread or something. I don't know. You may be able to get a cheap binary. I don't know if we'll get that much movement off the binaries because I feel like they're probably jacked a bit more on this one. But I mean, there could be a reversal. This is what you look for in a reversal. I just wish it was a better zone over here. It's just not. This is just too much chop back and forth, in too much of a small area. But hey, that's the analysis on it. If it was going to occur, this is where it would do it. Let's see what Russell has. Yeah, Russell's continuing to drive. Again, we tagged the target. 1978 was the target we were looking for. It actually it tagged it, went through. Did this have a 23 as well? Let's see. No, it did not. It is now, but not from here. 23 never got pulled. Yeah, right down we're here. So again, this is another one too. This is a little bit better of a zone, right? This 1975. It's better, right? It's a better zone. It's been touched. It's not the first time. This is hit number three, right? There's actually, it looks like there's one here too. There is another one there too. So it looks like we got two, but kind of the same thinking, right? It's 10:30. We're in an area with confirmed buyers. You take the shot now. And again, this is kind of, I don't know. it's kind of in that same wheelhouse as well. So it's there. I just really, I mean, for me, fundamentally, I just think the news is way too strong against them today. I mean, do we get an end of the day rally potentially? Right. If the 10:30 reversal is coming in, it makes sense why it would be turning. Actually, it should be there. It would make sense why this reversal is coming in, but again, on a Friday, lower volume, I just don't feel great about it. I don't know. Like I said, everybody trades their own account. If you guys are into this type of thing, if you can get something cheap on it, sure, go for it. But this is where the reversals would come from. Would be the this 10:30 time frame. Let's drop it down to a 15. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is where it would occur. So, like I said, my motivation for Fridays is not just what it used to be. It's just kind of like, yep, I'm done. I mean, I don't need to, no reason to force anything. And like I said, all this data from POW has been pretty big. We had a split manufacturing number today. Manufacturing was good, services bad. Um, Bailey's getting ready to speak, so again, we may see a lot of that pound reversal. Economic upturn eases in April amid record inflation pressures. Great, yeah, lovely, record inflation. Um, that's it. Yeah, I think we're just gonna get headlines. So Friday with no news. Like I said, this is starting to retrace. Pound yet? Now, see, Bailey's getting ready to speak. Inflation dynamics in the global economy. I don't know that that's going to do more. Um, kind of seeing what happens. We're getting really close to this area here for the pound. And again, we have him speaking in the next 4 minutes. Could this be again, a reversal point for the yen? Could be worth getting into something, guys. If you're looking for something or you still need something today, this could be worth a small, a cheap binary or a cheap cost spread or something like that. If you're looking to get into something, again, major speech by Bailey. His currency's gotten hammered today already. He knows that. Talking about how you control inflation globally is raising interest rates. Again, people may look at that and say, "Well, wait a second, the pound's rose, risen at 3 times." So could be an opportunity. That may be the best opportunity for the rest of the morning. Is again playing a bit of this reversal. Um, yeah, that could be it. So. All right, let's get into the drawing. I wish there was more today, but there's not. Giveaways. Why is this so tiny? Man, that boy messed up. Yes, you. Yes, you. He's behind me again. Man, he pounding buttons. I got things that are size weird on all the platforms. Everything is all over the place. So, yesterday was Will. All right, so Will's going for 100. Everybody else going for 25. Briggs, good to see you on a Friday, my friend. We got Eki in there as well, and Ernest must have given up Amazon. Right. All right, let's close this bad boy down. All right, so winner of today's drawing is, let's see if Will, how many has Will got? Will's only got one. Oh, no, it was Debbie yesterday, not Will. Sorry, it was Debbie yesterday. My bad. It was Debbie. All right, let's see. Who takes it today? Winner of today's drawing is Marina. Now, see, I can't say Debbie's mad about that because it's another one of the girls, right? It's another one of the girls. But look at that. Wow, that's back-to-back girls. I wonder if Carol's going to take it on Monday. Wonder if we're going to have the clean sweep. Leaderboard. Let's put Marina here 25. Look at that. Look at that. I know, Maria, it has been a while. It has, but I can't. I'm not allowed to say anything because everybody gets mad whenever I say anything and that person wins. They think that it's like rigged of some sort. You always get that person. But like I said, I know Debbie wouldn't be upset. So, all right. With that said, I'm going to end it a little bit early today. A couple minutes. We went late early this week. I got to go grab Jen. She's upset that Melissa has a call and she has to get out of the room. So I need to go feed her a red cupcake or something like that. But anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. Again, watch some of the retracements later on today. It doesn't look like it's going to be overly positive. Maybe I'm wrong. We get a big end of the day rally. And if not, look for Sunday night gaps, and I'll catch you guys on Monday morning. Take care.